to our job search and networking webinar, How to Find a Job. Everybody's went ahead and put their name and location in the box. So if you have any questions or you have a comment about anything, you're welcome to use the chat feature or the Q&A anytime during this webinar. And then either one of us will respond to it as quickly as we can. And if nobody has any questions, we'll go ahead and get started. So today we're going to go ahead, this is our agenda for the webinar. My name is Jen and I work in the Oroville Employment, the DES office, which is the Department of Employment and Social Services in Oroville. I'm a resource and referral coordinator. I assist job seekers out in the resource area normally when we're open. Right now we're just open virtually to assist people. We're still assisting with all the same kind of things we normally do, just virtually. Like we have a chat feature. We can help over the email or over the phone. So we're still available. And these are my co-hosts here. I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, and welcome everyone to our workshop. We're excited that you're all here to participate and learn a little bit more about job search and networking in today's world with, COVID and, how things have changed so much. But my name is Jill Ghirardelli, and I am a program supervisor for the recovery unit. I work primarily with Campfire victims, and we work with Rebuilding Paradise, and we have locations in Butte. So the one in Oroville, one in Chico, and then recovery. There's two in Chico. So if you ever need any help or you were directly affected by the campfire, you can give our office a call. But we all help each other. We're all one big team, and glad to help you all if you're looking for work.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelsey Bowles. I'm a Career Center Advisor for Alliance for Workforce Development, and I'm in the Cohasset office. If you need any assistance, we're going to have a ton of information, and then there will be contact information at the end of the presentation as well, so we can answer all of your questions and get you the help you need. Thanks.
So we're going to go ahead and we have an icebreaker poll that we're going to do for you here. We're going to pop up here on the screen just a moment. All right, so we're just going to wait a couple minutes for everyone to get a chance to complete this poll real quick. It looks like so far, well, the first question is, have you had an embarrassing situation happen while you were job searching? And someone said yes, and someone said no. How would you rate your current knowledge and comfort level with job searching process? We have like uncomfortable, fairly, and very comfortable. Looks like half of the people are very comfortable or advanced, so that's good. Job searching can be hard, especially with COVID right now. I mean, there's not a lot of in-person things, so we're going to kind of go over that today of ways and things that you can job search.
Would anybody like to share their uncomfortable or embarrassing situation that you might have had while job searching? No pressure. I guess we'll take that as a no. Well, I will share something that happened to me one time when I was job searching. I was so desperate for work, and I wanted to go. I wanted to work at this particular agency, and found out there was an opening. So I went and I'm answering questions in the interview. And all of a sudden they're asking me all these accounting questions and payroll questions. And I'm kind of going, what? I'm a social worker. And I don't do math very well. And it turned out that my interview was for somebody that they were looking for an accountant or somebody to do their payroll and all that for their agency. And then they asked, and I was so desperate. I was so desperate for work. I didn't even care. I thought, oh, well, I'll learn how to do it. And then they said, well, it doesn't sound like this is a good fit for you. And I said, yeah. You're right, it isn't a good fit, but I treated it like a good experience. With interviewing, if you do have an opportunity for an interview, even if it isn't 100% of the job you want, I did it anyway, and it ended up, I networked with them and, made some good contacts. So that was my horrible time that I had.
All right, so the poll results are, have you had an embarrassing situation? 29% said yes, and 71% said no. And how would you rate your current knowledge and comfort level with job searching? 29 said uncomfortable, 29% said fairly comfortable, and 43 said very comfortable or all right, and so we're going to go over job applications. So they are tedious, time consuming, and there's a lot of room for errors. So here's a short video, a funny video to watch about job applications. Oh, can't hear it, Kelsey. You have to unmute yourself. Sorry.
All advice. Let's start that over.
So the rule is, everybody, the rule is if you screw up just one too many job interviews, you become a stand-up comedian. So for me anyway, I never made it through a job interview. It's such a fine picture. You really need that job. Get all dressed. You get in there a couple of minutes early. You're trying really hard not to make any stupid mistakes. First opportunity to make a stupid mistake. You make a stupid mistake. So the rule is such a fine picture. You really need that job. Get all dressed. You get in there a couple of minutes early. You're trying really hard not to make any stupid mistakes. First opportunity to make a stupid mistake. You make a stupid mistake. They give you that application, and you accidentally write your name in the wrong box. You already didn't get the job. What are you going to do? Scribble it out. Hand in your application with a huge scribble mark in the very first blank at the top of the page. Here you go. Say, did I get the job? No. No, you didn't. Can't ask for another application either. Oh, could I have another application, please? Wow. I put my name in the wrong box. They're going to be like, you don't need another application, sir, because we're not hiring any idiots. You put your name in the wrong box of the job application, you have no other option but to leave your name in the wrong box. Then you're in the interview, the guy's like, so your name is Ben Bailey. Yes. And you currently reside at 365 Ben Bailey Boulevard. Yes. Yes, I do. Well, I've lived there all my life. Don't try to send me mail at that address. I put my mailing address in the comments box. And due to a bizarre zoning coincidence, my zip code is exactly the same as the first 5 digits of my phone number. But don't try to call me. I put my calling phone number in the comments box, just below my mailing address, for your convenience. And yes, before you ask, my mother's maiden name is Caucasian. But despite all of those seemingly bizarre things, I still feel that I am quite clearly the right man for this job.
He always has funny videos, that guy. All right, so prepare yourself and get organized. So when you're doing your job search, usually when I help people, I tell them that job searching is a job like in itself. If you treat it like that, usually you'll find a job pretty quickly. So if you want to get organized, review your budget and find out what kind of income that you need to make. Know what types of positions that you're looking for. You know, for example, like administrative, or if you're going to be doing construction, you know, those are the types of jobs that you want to apply for. So get an idea of what positions. Get copies of your transcripts, certificates, letters of recommendation, and then make sure that your resume is complete and your cover letter also. And we have virtual workshop also on resumes and cover letters, so I definitely recommend that. So you can have your resume ready and your cover letter ready so that you can start applying. Okay, so job search at a glance. These are your steps for job searching. 7 basic steps for job searching. Each step needs to be organized and prepared. So like I mentioned, you want to identify your job or career, so the positions that you want to apply for, and establish your short and long-term goals. That might be easier for you to do it like step by step, what you want to reach by a certain amount of time. And then prepare your resume and locate your references. So typically most places want 3 references. So you definitely want to reach out to those people also, so that they know someone's going to be contacting them for a reference for you. So they're ready for it and they have good things to say about you. So definitely want to get those references ready. Make sure that you have the correct phone number for them and any other contact information like their email. And then you want to research the job market. That's something that we could also assist you with. Like if you're wanting to know what jobs are ready in this area that meet the income that you need, things like that. Or if maybe you need some training to reach that particular goal to get into a career that you're interested in, that's something we can assist you with too. Activate your network. So we're going to go over that today too, because networking is pretty big, especially right now with COVID going on. So we're going to go over social media and like LinkedIn, interview preparation. So we also have an interview virtual workshop that we have available that I recommend to do as well, because practice makes perfect with your interview. Then 7 is your interviews and job offers. So I mentioned the interview part, and then there is a section we'll go over about the job offer, what you should be prepared to say to them, or Right, so here is expert job search tips and advice during our COVID pandemic right now. We have a short video with tips on job searching during COVID.
So this pandemic thing might be really putting a crimp in your job search. I get it. Like, people are being laid off. Companies are having hiring freezes. It feels like it's harder than ever to get a job, but I promise you still can. There's just one key thing you have to do to find a job during this time. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. My name is Sandra, and I help motivated professionals build their careers through practical tips to gain career confidence. And so let's talk about job searching in this very weird time that we are in. So I said there was a key to job searching right now. Any guesses what that key is? Any thoughts? Anyone have any ideas? Networking. I know it's the word nobody likes, but it is how we're going to all find jobs during this time. And don't turn this off. I will teach you how to do it, and it will not be scary. I will say it until I am blue in the face. You cannot find a job by just applying online. At least you cannot find a good job, a job you super care about, by just applying online. You have to know people at the company. You have to know people in the department, the HR person, etc. You have to know as many people as possible who can vouch for you and say, yes, they seem like a great human being. We should have them work here. You need to know people. Please stop just applying online. 70% of jobs are found through other people, not online applications. So you have to network. Now, you might be saying, but Cassandra, I can't go to events right now. But Cassandra, not to say, how am I supposed to possibly meet somebody? We all want social media, don't we? You can network online. But today we're going to talk about it a little different. See, there are 2 types of networking you need to know about. There's outbound networking and there's inbound networking. Outbound networking is what you normally think of as networking. It is you reaching out to other people. You need to do this, right? I'm not negating outbound networking. You need to be on LinkedIn and finding people at the companies you want to work at and reaching out. You need to be telling your connections, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Do you know anyone who works at this company? You need to be setting up informational interviews over virtual Zoom calls to talk with people, maybe even a phone call. Crazy, I know. So that you can meet people in the company you want to work at and they can get to know you. Okay, so that's outbound. You reach out to people. But then there is this second type of networking that no one really talks about in the job search space, and that is called inbound networking. This is where you are creating content that draws people in to your world. So you need to start creating content. Inbound networking is when you start posting on LinkedIn, creating an Instagram feed that's all around the brand you're trying to build for yourself. So it could be industry related or just professional you to the world. These are my thoughts. It's when you're getting active in the comments on any platform. You're starting to build relationships with people and they're starting to see who you are by the content you're creating, and it starts making them comment on your work. So in all honesty, this channel is inbound networking. When you comment in my DMs or below these videos and I comment back, that is a form of networking. It's just on my end, it's inbound networking, right? I've drawn you in and you've commented. So basically, inbound networking is a great way for you to build your reputation and make people want to get to know you because of it. Now, you can't do one and not the other. I'm going to challenge you during this time, without a pandemic, actually, you should be doing these things, but especially now, you need to be doing both outbound and inbound networking. So I challenge you right now, set a goal. How are you going to outbound network? Who are you going to reach out to? Who are you going to follow up with? Who are you going to try and set a virtual coffee with? Then inbound, what is one post you can make this week on LinkedIn? It can be about something going on in your industry. Find a news article and then just talk about it. It could be a project you're working on. It could be something you truly believe and value about the work that you do. Write some sort of post, get active in the comments, start drawing people into your world. And if you want more help on your job search, I have a whole bundle of checklists for you. They all come nicely packaged together in your email. You can get them for free in the description box below. It's job search checklist. You'll get a resume checklist, a cover letter checklist, and a job search checklist, kind of the overall things you need to be doing to get a job. So those are all free, come in one package for you in the description box below. That is it for today. Quick video, but wanted to put that out there. Don't be afraid to network. Get out there, do some outbound and inbound networking, and I will see you in the next video and network with you in the comments.
Always like her videos. She's always full of energy. So now identifying a career path and career assessment. So these are some of the websites that we use, ONET Online and My Next Move, Career One Stop, and Get My Future. So you can do an online assessment to find out, to gain better knowledge of your interests and what you need to accomplish in order to access that career. So say you have some transferable skills to go into another career, but maybe you need some training or something like that. And that is something that you can also reach out to us for, because you may be eligible for assistance with that training. And we can also help you too if you want assessment help.
And it's free. This is a free career assessment. And you might not think that, you have the skills to do a particular job, but what's really cool is at the end of this assessment, it will pull up all these jobs that maybe you didn't even think about that you have transferable skills to do. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, everybody should do it. It's free and it gives you some really good information. And you can also gain information about the labor market on this same ONET. So it's a really good resource, and I encourage you to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it is really cool. And that labor market information is really cool too. It'll show you like what the average wage is for your area, if it's a career that's growing in your area. So it's useful too. We're going to go on to methods of job searching. So these are some different ways that you can job search. Like we mentioned, networking, for counselors, placement employment, that would be like us, state employment services offices. Usually they're housed with us. I believe they're all kind of working virtually right now. But there's other agencies that we know about also that we refer clients to. So it's good to see us because we can refer you a veteran. If you're a good candidate for vocational rehab or Experience Works, we have contacts for all those agencies and we can refer you out. So those are good agencies to check out. Community agencies, religious organizations, chamber events. So you can check out all these things like on Facebook. Most of these places will have a Facebook page, like I know our local chamber does. You can sign up for virtual events that they have going on. And like she was saying, you can message them, get your inbound networking done. But like employers and things like that, like Facebook, if there's a place that you're interested in working at, or even like Orville Jobs, if you live in Orville, you can go there, you can like their page, you can sign up for notifications. So when new jobs are posted on any of those job searching like websites on Facebook, like Orville Jobs or Chico Jobs, you'll get a notification in your Facebook letting you know about those new positions. Classified ads, the labor unions, and internet resources like HowJobs, Indeed, Glassdoor. We daily post to North State jobs, so all the jobs that we post for the local employers that we're working with, we post those on that website. Jill put that just now in the chat box in case you want to look at that. But yeah, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, those are all good methods for job searching. So we're going to put up a poll real quick to see how you do your job search. So it's asking what method do you use most frequently for job searching? The first one on there is newspaper classified. I don't know, there's very many people that receive the newspaper anymore. I know my boyfriend, he still does, which I think is kind of funny, but I said, don't you look at the news online? But he likes a newspaper. So he would probably look at classifieds in the newspaper. Telephone, employers, and in-person walk-in, well, probably not right now with COVID happening. Employer webpage, online job search engines, and others. So I see some people have marked other in the share. Can you share that in the chat box where else you job search if you're not using like search engines? It's like 57% are you looking at the employer's webpage. 71% is online job search engines. What I like too about LinkedIn is you can also on your LinkedIn, connect with the employers that you would be interested in working for or in that type of job, connect with them. But you can also, there's a setting in there for certain types of careers that you're looking for. And if anybody posts that type of job, you'll get a notification on LinkedIn. All right, so I think we have most everybody. Oh, I think that's it. So we have the final poll is 57% said employer webpage, 71% said online job search engines, and 29% said other.
Haley brought up a good response as well in the other option of reaching out to a career center at a university or an alma mater. That's also a good outreach.
All right, so now we're going to go on to why go online. A big reason right now would be because of COVID. We're really limited to go in places. So you can access current information anywhere and at any time. You can contact or you can view local employers' web pages. That's what a lot of you are doing. Search beyond regular boundaries. Using the internet shows skills with the internet. So if you're able to, access their website and apply for their jobs, that shows that you have those skills. You want to go online so you can network. That's a huge one. And you can explore more career options. Does anybody have any questions about online job searching or any problems that you have with online job searching? Okay, so we don't have any questions. So here are some job search engine sites. Like I mentioned, North State Jobs, that's where we post our positions that we have available, and we post that every day. So it's good to go check, and it's all over. So you just you can type in the type of job that you want or your location, and you can just see what's all available in your area. HowJobs we also post to that one as well. Google, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Glassdoor, Simply Hired, and Monster.com. And Facebook and LinkedIn, like we mentioned. Right, and then the next page, we're gonna show, these are some other places to job search. You can search your county sites, depending on what county you're from. Cal Careers is a really good one, USA Jobs and so depending on what kind of job you're looking for. But Cal Careers, you know, those are state positions. So if you'd like a job with EDD or any kind of state facility, you can go on there. But that's really cool. I would just like go on there and create an account for each one. You can just go around and see what's available in your area. USA Jobs or those federal jobs, and joins the educational website for positions there. Lassen, Modoc, Loomis, Sierra, and Nevada. All right, so we're talking about networking. I mentioned about Facebook job pages. Is there anybody on here that's job searching that uses Facebook for your job search? You check out those like Orville Jobs or Butte County Jobs or anything like that. And then LinkedIn, I also mentioned about that, how you can go on there and put in requests to have, like, if you're interested in administrative jobs or anything like that. And like she mentioned in that video, like if you wanted to boost up your network on there, you can make a post. That way people see you more often. I like to follow other people that work in the career field to see like what they're doing and how they're assisting people, things like that. Or maybe they know about events that are happening in our area that I didn't know about. So that would be good for someone who's job searching as well. And it says on there, networking is the #1 way to get a new job. And I feel like it really is right now with COVID also. So you want to network. You can network with your old coworkers, your old bosses, friends from like high school or college. You know, just meet with people on there. It's pretty friendly and it's pretty easy to do. So you could probably put that in like your things to do, like, you know, get on there and see what's available. So on the next page, it's going to tell you how to use LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is one of the best tools to help you find a job. It's free, so it's really cool. And then this video is just a short video on how to use LinkedIn.
And Sean had a great question about LinkedIn, whether or not you need to pay for it. And it is actually a completely free platform. So you can just download the app and make your account. You can even go online to make your account. Now we'll start the video about LinkedIn.
Maybe you were just getting started on LinkedIn, like you signed up, you know, you hit that first button, added your email address, and that's it. Or maybe you started a profile, but you're not quite sure yet if it's good, what to do with it, etc. So today I am giving 10 tips for absolute beginners on LinkedIn. And bonus, none of them take much time. So I'm Cassandra, and I help motivated professionals build their careers and businesses through practical tips to gain career confidence. So let's get started. Getting started on LinkedIn all begins with your profile. So first I want to give you some profile related tips. #1, we need to focus on your picture. Make sure your picture is just you, no one cropped out of it, not you in a graduation cap and gown, not a wedding dress, nothing formal. It needs to look like you on your best day of work. And oh yeah, it shouldn't be a selfie. Stand by a tree, grab the amazing camera you have on your phone, and have a friend take a picture. It's going to look great. Okay, tip #2, you need to optimize your headline. When you create your LinkedIn profile, your headline is automatically going to be your latest title at your most recent job or most recent company. We want to scratch that. You're going to edit and go to that headline bar and fill it out for those 120, I believe, characters, and share who you are, what you do, and what industries you do it for. You want your headline to be SEO friendly. So even though my title is career specialist at the college I work at, I put career consultant and speaker because that's what I want to be known for. That's where I want to be found in search. Nobody's looking for a career specialist. Oh yeah, please waste the space putting up a quote. No one's searching a quote. If you want to be found, you have to talk about who you are and what you do. If you need help with this, I have a video about it. I'll put a link to it right here. Okay, so number 3, you need to work on your experience section. Now, the easiest way to do this is to just copy paste your bullet points from your resume and put them in that description box for each experience. This will go very fast and your experience section will look full so quickly. A wonderful, wonderful copy paste tool. Now, number 4, the skills section. You want to have something listed in the skills section as skills are what help you come up in search results. So try to think of 10 skills related to what you do or what you want to do that you actually have these skills. Don't just think of 10 skills like, hey, I want to be a doctor. I need science skills and medical skills. If you don't have them, please don't write them. Think of 10 skills you have related to what you want to do or what you're currently doing and fill those in the skills section. And make sure the top 3 are starred so they're the 3 that show up first on your profile. Okay, next, you want to add your education. So make sure you write your school name correctly so that the little box will pop up showing your school. That means that when your school shows up, first off, you'll have the logo of your school next to it, but also you will now be put in the alumni network for that school. And being put in that alumni network is going to gain you so many connections. It's actually my favorite feature on LinkedIn. And if you want to know more about it, I have a whole video to it, but you might want to stay tuned for the rest of the tips. So I'll put it in the description box below as well, so you can learn more on how to utilize that alumni feature. Okay, tip number 6, you need to add projects or links to your work in your profile. So this is an awesome, awesome tool of LinkedIn that you can add. It's in your about section when you edit it. Have links to your work, the project you're proud of, so that others can see what you're capable of. And then tip number 7, don't overthink the about me section. I want you to write it. You need to put something there and it should be first person, but don't panic and freak out about this. Think of this as your way of introducing yourself to others on LinkedIn. So what are the things you want them to know about you? You know, do you want them to know what your specialties are and maybe some big accomplishments you've had? Do you want them to know what you're interested in doing in the future? Probably a little bit of both. And I would also at the end add in something personal. A lot of times that little personal thing is what people can connect with you on. So for example, I think mine still said something about how I only drink iced coffee, even if it's 0 degrees outside. For other iced coffee lovers, that's going to be something they can comment on when looking at my profile. Okay, so how the heck do we utilize LinkedIn? 3 more tips for you. So tip number 8, you need to start building connections. Connections is how we utilize LinkedIn because the more connections we have, the more people we can get found by and the more people we can find. You get exposure to twice as many people, thrice as many people once you're connected. So start building your connections. Start with anyone in your email list. Then go to any friends, family, past coworkers, past schoolmates, add them, and that's going to help really build that base level of connections. Next, let's get started using LinkedIn and making it a daily habit. So put that app on your phone and make it part of your social media rotation. I know you're like the rest of us. I know you look at Facebook and then Instagram and then Snapchat, or maybe Snapchat and then Instagram and then Facebook and maybe Twitter and maybe TikTok. Add LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a social platform. So just while you're scrolling through all those others, take a couple minutes and scroll. Tip number 10, you want to like, comment, and share. So make sure that you are going on the platform, and if someone says something that you like it. If you think it's a great article, share it, or just comment on what they wrote about and give your opinion. This is a beautifully easy way to get started on the platform, and it is utilizing it. Your comments will get seen by people. When you like something, that person's content now gets put in the feed of all your connections. So it helps you become kind of this catalyst for sharing information, which builds your authority. So just start by liking, sharing, and commenting. Now, once you've done these things and you're like, I got this, I want to create my own stuff. I have a bunch of videos about that, and I will put a link to them in the description box below and probably a card right about here. So those are 10 tips to get you started. Each of them should take about 5 minutes, maybe 10, but quick things to get you started on the platform. So get going. If you have any questions about it, please leave them in the comment section below. Of course, make sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. Leave me a note letting me know this is how you found me. And give this video a thumbs up if you like LinkedIn content. And subscribe if you haven't already. And now that all the things are said, have a great day. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
All right, so that's a really great video just to get started on what we call your brand online. And I hope that each of you were able to take something away from LinkedIn. Maybe you learned something new, maybe you got something clarified, because this is so important in this day and age, especially right now during the pandemic, when our platform really is online. So taking control of that social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, is really important. On the other side of posting your types of job desires as well as skills, you also want to make sure you don't add anything that isn't technically appropriate for those platforms, such as negative pictures involving alcohol. Maybe you're hanging out with friends, but potential employers may see that as negative. So making sure you're doing a quick, thorough search of what you have posted on those platforms is really important as well, because this is how you're going to be able to connect with employers. This is how they're able to see what you do in your hobbies and extracurricular hours. And it's just a great way to get an all-around feel for who you are to the employers. It says that 92% of companies use Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter for recruiting. So they might actually be checking those platforms. Maybe you want to go take a look as to what yours looks like. So let's talk about the 7 basic mistakes that'll slow down your job search, but also how to fix them. So the first one is going to be that you don't have a target employer strategy. So this is the idea of having a focal point of what type of job you want or employer you want to work for, bringing that down to a scope of the type of position you want to be in. Maybe taking a look even at your transferable skills that you've obtained from other employment experiences or your education. That way you're not starting too broad and getting overwhelmed ultimately about the huge job search online. The second one is that our resume cover letter aren't targeted to that employer. So say you're applying for a specific position, let's say a mechanic. You wouldn't necessarily have all over your resume broad customer service skills or something to do with cooking. You would want to rather try to bring it targeted to that mechanic type position, whether it's you have worked on machines or you took a class. These are important things that you can add onto your resume that will really stick out to that employer, as well as in your cover letter, talking about those experiences that are very job specific and also related to that position can really help you stick out amongst the other applicants. The third mistake is that you're wasting the top third of your resume. So this is really important too when we're utilizing just one page. You know, that's what the employer looks at. So making sure you have a template that really utilizes your special skills as well as experience can be really helpful or starting it off as in the picture on the slide with an objective. What are you wanting to get through by turning this resume into the employer? These are things that can really make you stand out as well in the application process. And if you have more questions about that, we do have that resume workshop that I highly suggest attending. Fourth mistake, your resume is too long or not concise. So as I said previously, keeping it boiled down to one page is most preferred so that an employer doesn't get overwhelmed by the essay that you may have just turned in of a resume. Ultimately, they might be getting 10s, 20s, 30s of resumes, and they don't want to have to go through a book full of skills and experiences, but rather see those specific experiences that relate, or those skills that can really help to progress and strengthen that team. And the fifth one is you expect others to do the math. So we don't want to make employers go on a scavenger hunt as to what types of achievements or accomplishments we had in our work experiences. So when you're detailing the experiences you do have, try to be specific as to what achievements you've made or accomplishments you completed, but keep it concise as well so that they understand she worked here, she completed this, and they achieved that. That way that they know they can go through the resume and understand what type of employee you are.
I just wanted to add one thing too. I do recommend that resume workshop that we offer, just so that the employer isn't trying to figure it all out. If you use tagcrowd.com and you take the job description and you copy that and put it in there, it will highlight the main skills that are listed in that job description. You want to make sure you put those into your resume. And I recommend bullets because they're easy to see, because they're only going to spend like 10 seconds or 7 seconds looking at your resume. So the skills that they're looking for, you should have those in those bullet points. And so it's going to be like right there for them to see.
Yeah, they're busy. I mean, think about how many resumes employers are getting for the position. They're getting a lot. And if they don't see what they need, really quickly at the beginning of your resume, or even in your cover letter, then they're not going to go further and they're going to go on to the next. So that's really, really important, Jen. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is very important. The number 6 mistake is that you don't take LinkedIn seriously. And this may be because you're still unfamiliar with it, or maybe it's because we're stuck in our old ways of wanting to go to the newspaper or the computer. But LinkedIn is going to be something that's really helpful right now too, as employers are having to use more virtual type platforms to recruit and employ others. So making sure you just do those basic steps that was talked in the video that take 5 minutes each, just to spruce up your LinkedIn. That way, if someone is viewing your profile, they can get that overview of who you are as an employee and be able to see if that's something they want to pursue. And it was as simple as them just looking at your profile. So very minimal work too. And if you need any more help on that, we can definitely assist as well with the LinkedIn. So the number 7 mistake is that your social media presence scares employers away. And maybe you're thinking, I don't post anything that would scare them away, but you're wanting to make sure that every platform you have, whether it be Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat, that you're doing an overview of what types of things you might be posting or sharing, or what types of comments you're making. Because ultimately, if there is something that is very bold or could potentially be seen as negative, that might not be something an employer wants to look into as a fellow employee, someone to hire, because they want someone on their team who's going to be cooperative, who's going to be a team member, and be able to be an asset to that team. So just making sure you go through and look at what type of social media presence you have is really important. So now let's talk about that interview preparation. We have 5 reasons behind interview questions that are probably some questions you're very familiar with and have probably heard in some of your own interviews, such as the why should we hire you? And believe it or not, there is a motive behind all of these questions, such as to check your confidence level. How do you feel about that position you're applying for? Or when they ask, what are your weaknesses? They want to see if you can be self-aware of what you need to work on and what you need to grow on. Telling me about yourself, checking your communication skill and being able to present yourself and make sure you have that confidence again. Then 4th question is, why do you want to work for our company? This is a great way to show how much research you've done on that company too. You know, whether you're bringing up mission values or you're bringing up the tasks that they're hoping to accomplish. What you can bring to that table really helps to show them how much you want that, as well as how you will fit into that team and enrich it. And the last question is, what do you expect to be doing 5 years from now? I think this is a question that we all kind of get stuck on and think, I have no idea. But this is a good way to check our career ambitions and goals, whether it be super specific or even saying something as much as I want to be in a career that helps my community. Saying something along the lines of that can even show a lot to the employer what type of person you are and what motivates you. So it's really important to give some time to think over these questions as well. Of course, you can practice before your interview, maybe answering these questions that will come up in your interview. Of course, also doing your research on the employer, like what is the labor market information? How many job openings are there usually in a year? And if you have questions about how to do that, we would love to help you at Alliance for Workforce Development. And then, of course, during your interview, bring a pad and pencil because that can actually show the employer just how invested you are in that interview and how much you want it because you are being keen on the details of the position, as well as writing down any questions you may have. And that is also an aspect that the employer loves to see. So there are a lot of good ways to prepare yourself for that interview. All right, so we're gonna watch a funny video that hopefully you all are going to really enjoy.
How much do you think you're qualified for this job? Yeah, serious, huh?
All right, I'm sorry if that volume may have been a little in and out. We have been experiencing some volume issues, but the moral of the video being that you want to prepare yourself for an interview well, and you don't want to go in maniac, even if it's for a friend so that they get the position. Making sure you can stay professional and very cool, calm, and collected is important in an interview. So let's talk
Okay.
about.
Oh, sorry, Kelsey. We have a question from Denver. he says, I heard that you should always have your accounts locked down to private on social media, or is that perceived negatively as well? I honestly couldn't answer that, but I would think, I don't know. I mean, you guys are, you know, younger than I am, and I would probably say to maybe, I don't know, you could have two accounts, have one a professional account and one your personal, and lock the personal, but have the other one that's business related. Do people do that, you guys? I mean, you know, you guys are, I didn't start the job search market, you know, in the internet world. So, you know, my viewpoints are, you know, not always up to speed. What do you guys think?
I think that it's fine. I don't think it would be perceived negatively if you had a private account, because I have a private account. Only my friends can see things. But I mean, unless you have an account that maybe, you know, you think that it's not professional and you want it to be private for that, and then you can just show the pictures that you want. But honestly, you should just, you're job searching, you should have it where it is professional. But
And
I think
also, I think too, that it's really important to have some kind of an online presence. So maybe you lock down your Facebook, but you have your LinkedIn all dialed in. So, you know, that might be something to consider too. But if you had nothing, nowadays, especially with COVID and how you do your research and how most of the work is conducted online, it would probably be very odd if you didn't have some sort of presence. That might be a red flag. I don't know.
That's something I was going to bring up as well, is maybe choosing which platforms you would like to be more social and therefore private to you and your friends, and what platforms you would like to use for more employer searching. Such as an example, using Instagram for your social events because you're able to post pictures, share good times with friends, but then keeping maybe your LinkedIn and your Facebook professional, sharing your opinions of projects you're interested in. Or even with Facebook, you have the ability to minimize what types of details are searchable. So maybe looking into your settings as to what options you have for that as well could be a good option.
yeah, that was a really good question.
Does that answer your question? Okay. Let us know.
And if you have any further questions, we would love to help you, and we can go into more depth on it too. So say you have that job offer and you want to go best about how to approach it because it's exciting and you probably want to be just jumping for joy. However, you also want to take into concept just how you're presenting yourself to that employer once that job offer is on the table. So learning things just as to be important to discuss job details. You know, that's a time when you can start bringing in benefits or discussing salaries or bringing up any concerns you may have. Those are important to go through with the employer because ultimately you want to have a great picture and an all-around picture of the type of position you are going into, because it's a job that you will probably want long-term, or at least for the next 5 years. So it's really important to ask those questions and get a real good idea of what that position is like. And you may be asking yourself, well, what if I learn something that doesn't really fit my values or desires? What do I do then? And that's a really great point because I feel like a lot of people will question whether or not they can turn down a job after it is offered. And I would like to say that the most important thing you need to see is if you are going to be happy in that position. Because if you ultimately get through that interview and feel like it's not a great fit, that's what you're setting yourself up for in that position. Maybe you're feeling stressed, or maybe you're feeling like it's not a great fit. So definitely taking the time to review that.
That's, I think, really huge, because a lot of times you think you have to give them an answer right away. And like Kelsey said, it's okay and it's appropriate for you to say, I appreciate this opportunity. I really want to take a little bit of time to, think over, and I'll get back to you in 24 hours or, whatever. Make it reasonable. Don't wait like a month because they're going to fill that job. But that's really important. And I think people sometimes get so anxious. Oh, I have a job offer and, I have to take it. It's really important for you to, think about it for a minute because you want it to be a good fit and they want you to stay. They don't want to put all this training into somebody who really isn't thrilled with the position. So that's okay to take your time.
Absolutely. And another tip too, if you're applying for multiple jobs or positions, taking the time to reassess which one you feel will make you happier, not just which one pays more, because ultimately, like Jill said, they want you there for a long time. That's why they're placing that training in you, and that's why they chose you, is they feel you're a good fit. So make sure for yourself that you are actually that good fit.
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about that. So say you do get a job offer from 2 places. That happened to me when I applied for this job that I have now. I had a job offer somewhere else. And then I think that you want to go by the wage, but I mean, they were comparable, but I was trying to decide on which job I would be most happy working at. And this other job was a kind of an administrative, but I'd be working less with the public, and I love to be with people and work with people. And so I chose the right job because I love this job. We're helping people all the time. And so I think picking the job that you think will fit you and make you happy is better for you in the long run.
Great advice. Take the time to reflect. It's very all right. So you might be asking yourself too, like, this was a lot of good information. What other services can I potentially get? And Alliance for Workforce Development has so many resources that we can assist you with, whether it be assistance with your resume, or maybe you're interested in testing some of your skills for a potential employer. We have so many options and services to provide to you. And if you are interested in getting some of those services, or even have questions about some of those services we offer, I have our contact information at the end of this presentation, and we can get a referral started for you as well if you are interested in more one-on-one individual help with one of our Career Center advisors. So just to review over what we talked about in our presentation, making sure you organize yourself in that job search and networking, whether it be LinkedIn, or taking the time to budget and figure out what type of employment or employer you want to work for. And then using those internet social media platforms to the best of your ability, because that can really make you stand out above others who are applying for the same position. And if you need any help tailoring your resume or cover letter, reach out to us, because we would love to use our services to help you really beef up those cover letters and resumes, as well as be able to help you apply for all of those jobs that you're looking into on Cal Jobs or North State Jobs, now that you have all of those resources.
We have, Sean had a question. He says, what if you're 62 years old and you plan on retiring in 3 years? So if you are looking for like part-time work until you're retiring, or I don't know if you're trying to work towards your retirement, but anyway, we know about Experience Works. They work for, it's a program, a partner agency. They work for people that are 55 years or older, and they help employ them. So I don't know if that'd be something you're interested in doing. You could reach out to us on that chat feature that we put in the link in the chat there. You can reach out to us on there and we can give you the information for that program if that's something you're interested in.
Also, I'd like to interject on that too. Being that I'm 60 myself, you might think right now that you plan on retiring in 3 years, but what if? I mean, how can you? I just feel, how can you really say unequivocally, this is what I'm going to do? What if at 62 you get this amazing job that you just love and lights your fire and you are excited and, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to project and you wouldn't go into a job saying, yeah, I'm 62 and I'm going to retire in 3 years. That would not be a way to get a job. But I do feel that when you are 60 and 60 plus, that people are afraid that nobody wants to hire them. But that is not true. A lot of companies know that when you are 60 or 60 plus, you know you have the soft skills. You're going to show up for work and you're not going to be sick for any reason. All your kids are grown, so you don't have to worry about, you know, babysitting and childcare and that kind of thing. And you have a lot of life experiences that you can provide for the agency. So I know that we have, you know, seniors that come in on 50 plus, 60 plus that feel nobody's going to hire them, but it's really not true. And our job as career center advisors, when people do come in, is to be a cheerleader and say, no, you know, I'm sorry, that's wrong. There are a lot of that place us in a high regard because we do have the experience and we are, you know, very knowledgeable in different things that we can share and provide for the company. That's my 2 cents.
I think that was really great advice. I think that we can have a lot to bring to the table, especially with our employment experience. And maybe you've been with an employer for quite some time. So seeing those transferable skills and realizing you already have those built, you already bring those to that new employer. And so that's something really to pride yourself on too, because you put a lot of hard work into that. So to close us off, we have all of our different social media platforms as well. If you'd like to follow us on any of those, plug into those, as well as if you have any questions, whether it be about our PowerPoint or the presentation we went over, or our services, please feel free to pop those down in the chat box. We'll stay on for a few minutes to answer any questions, but ultimately we're excited to hear from you all, and we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been great having you guys. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank you for attending. I also wanted to mention about our other virtual workshops. You can access that information on our website, but we have the resume workshop and the interview workshop. So I would definitely go check those out. They're definitely worth going. You'll sure you'll take something away. So even one thing is better than, you know, nothing. So thank you. Have a good day.